Jacob and his family spent time in Hebron before returning to Shechem in the north. By now, his sons were grown men. But Rachel's sons, Joseph and Benjamin, were Jacob's most adored. He kept Joseph close, teaching him the ways of the Creator, while his brothers bent their backs in the fields. When Joseph started experiencing powerful dreams, Jacob took it as a sign that he was the spiritual heir of the tribe. He presented Joseph with a fine tunic, woven from the cloak of Adam.
Tell me, Joseph, have you had any more dreams?
I had one last night. I didn't know if I should tell anyone. Not after the last time.
This was similar?
Yes, but the symbols differed. I dreamt I was a celestial body, suspended in the heavens. The sun, the moon, and 11 stars circled around me, drawing closer, as if I were the center of all things. And they bowed to me.
Do you grasp this dream's meaning?
The sun is the father, the moon the mother. 11 stars, 11 brothers.
And you, at the center of the universe?
I didn't mean that.
Your own father and mother, your older brothers, we all bow to you? That is your interpretation?
I can't lie to you, Father, as much as I can't help what I see.
No. The Creator has singled you out. It is a heavy burden. Perhaps I have kept you too close. You should be out in the pastures with your brothers, learning the ways of the world. Go see them. Bring me a report of their progress.
Yes, Father.
How bad is it, Shimon?
3 sheep, struck down with illness. They're bad stock. We've been cheated.
Well, one of us is going to have to report this to Father.
Don't bother, Yehuda. Here comes the great dreamer himself. He's likely seen it in a vision and reported our failure already.
Today, of all days, if he opens his mouth one more time, I swear to God...
Why not? I wouldn't mind teaching him a lesson.
I'd say it's our duty as his elders.
Watch yourself, Shimon.
I'm surprised you keep defending him, Reuben. After all, you have the most to lose.
What do you mean?
You're the firstborn. Father will give Joseph everything. He has the cloak. He has Father's ear. Watch. He'll change your birthright, and you'll be left with nothing.
Joseph's brothers' concern for their inheritance grew into outright hatred.
What are you saying? You want him to disappear? He's blood. You'd never forgive yourselves. You all feel this way?
Brothers!
What do you want, Joseph?
Father sent me to...
To make another bad report of us? Bring us to shame once again?
No, of course not. Look, I've brought fruit and wine from home.
You really shouldn't be here.
I was told to come.
And we're telling you to leave.
Why? Because of those dreams I had? They're just dreams. Are you so easily threatened?
Find his hands!
Stop! Shimon, Yehuda! I'm sorry! Please don't! No, not the cloak!
You really should have just kept your mouth shut.
No! I promise I won't tell Father any of this! We'll forget it ever happened!
The brothers seized Joseph, pushed him into a cistern, and blocked the entrance,
Brothers!
leaving him trapped in the dark pit.
Please!
I'm done with all of you.
Where do you think you're going?
I have business before sunset. Yehuda, don't do anything.
until I get back.
We can't leave him in there to rot.
Don't move.
Well, we can't let him go either. If this got out...
Quiet! Someone's coming. Our Midianite cousins. Slave traders by the look of them. Likely on their way to Egypt.
There's an idea.
Listen, Reuben was right. This has gone far enough.
No, it's too late for that. Isn't it better we sell him than kill him?
And what do we tell Father? That Joseph just vanished into thin air?
Let's butcher one of those sick sheep and cover the cloak with blood. Then we'll say wild beasts attacked him.
This will break Father's heart.
Enough! Let's be done with this. Over here, slave traders! We have a bargain for you!
Joseph, here, take my hand. Oh, thank you. I knew you'd never really... What is this?
Let's see. Good teeth, strong back. But he will need some breaking in.
Please, I've learned my lesson. I won't say a word.
Joseph, for once in your life, be silent.
20 pieces of silver.
Done.
Where's Reuben? Where are they taking me?
My sons! You're back so early. Everything well with the flock?
Father, you should sit down.
Wait. Where is Joseph?
Joseph never made it to us. We found this on the side of the road.
Joseph's cloak? I don't understand.
I'm so sorry, Father. He must have been...
Don't say it.
There were wild beasts in the area.
Oh, no. My Joseph. My boy.
Reuben, you caught up with us.
He's not in the cistern? What have you done with him?
What did you want us to do? Kill him?
You didn't kill him?
No, we sold him. But Father had to believe he was dead. It was the only way.
This is bad. This is very bad.
I know.
The journey to Egypt was a long one. Joseph was passed from trader to trader, eventually arriving in Egypt.
My lord, I have a fine selection for you today. A desert flower to adorn your court, perhaps. Or this fierce warrior from the African plains.
What of that boy over there?
That slip of a thing? Yeah, herdsman's stock. Untried in labor or battle. I'm sure you would prefer something more...
I know very well what I would prefer. What do they call you, boy?
Joseph.
You speak to the commander of Pharaoh's army. Address your superior with respect.
My father named me Joseph in his wisdom. In our tongue, it is a blessing for increased affluence.
He speaks well for a slave. 30 pieces of silver, and throw in the desert flower.
But, my lord...
Have them delivered to my palace.
Of course, Lord Potiphar. Forgive me.
In the meantime, slaver, keep your hands off my property.
You sent for me, my lord?
Joseph, yes, come in. My overseer tells me you've been making trouble for him.
May I speak freely?
Please do.
I noticed some discrepancy in the storehouse records. I cannot say if it was deliberate, but the accounts don't match up and—
You can read?
Read and write, my lord. In many languages.
Show me the record.
Right here, my lord.
I see. Well spotted, Joseph. I'm bringing you in from the workhouse. From now on, you'll oversee the record keepers. We'll have to get you some new clothes, of course. My wife expects the house servants to dress impeccably.
Yes, my lord. Thank you. At your service, my Lady Zuleika.
Is my husband occupied?
He's at his leisure.
Where did you say that slave is from?
He's a Hebrew, I believe. Some herdsman's son. I'm bringing him into the house.
He must have impressed you.
Extraordinary things are said of the Hebrews. I'm starting to believe them.
Joseph was a blessing to Potiphar's household and grew his wealth immeasurably. He became Potiphar's most trusted right hand, and so when the men of the house went to the festival of the rising Nile, Joseph remained behind to mind the household. By now he had grown, well-built and handsome, and had caught the eye of Potiphar's wife.
My Lady Zuleika, you sent for me?
Ah, Joseph. Come, sit with me a while. I won't bite. That's better. Now we can speak like friends. I'm curious about your past. Men like you aren't simply born from herders. Is your mother of noble blood?
Both of my parents hail from a blessed line. My mother was the beauty of her generation, and my father was more prince than herder. His was a prosperous estate, rich in cattle, wine, flax, and oil. He adorned his wives with gold, and his sons roamed the rolling hills like princes, with fine bows and swords.
If your father was so affluent, surely he would have sent for you after all these years. Well, better off. We have grown so fond of you here. I don't know what my husband would do, what I would do, if you left us. Joseph.
The hour grows late. I should go.
I don't want to be alone tonight. Stay with me.
You could not wish this upon your husband?
Do you not find me appealing?
I cannot betray my master's trust.
Joseph, you and I share a connection. You cannot deny it.
That doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come here.
Joseph, wait. Where are you going? Slave, come back. I command you. Joseph!
My lady, your tears. What happened? It was the Hebrew slave, wasn't it? I saw him run away. He attacked you!
Yes, it was Joseph.
Go fetch the master. The slave has dishonored this household.
She is saying you attacked her. Well, have you nothing to say in your defense?
I promise you, I did nothing.
Oh. I believe you, Joseph. But you must see my dilemma. My wife has lowered herself before a slave. I cannot allow further humiliation to my household. Joseph, you once told me that the God of your father would always protect you. Think of him now. He will not forget you. And nor will I. Guards! Take him. What are you doing here, wife?
Where will they take him, husband?
The royal dungeons.
You won't have him killed for his crime? You call this justice?
Do not talk to me of justice, woman!
Potiphar had no choice but to imprison Joseph in the royal dungeon. Joseph soon won the warden's favor, though, and rose through the ranks with ease, becoming the warden's right-hand man. He was entrusted with the care of noble prisoners, so when Pharaoh's wine steward and chief baker offended their master and were banished to the dungeons, they were placed under Joseph's charge.
I dreamt of a grapevine with 3 branches. As the buds formed, the blossoms bloomed, and its clusters ripened into grapes. I held Pharaoh's cup in my hands, squeezed the grapes into it, and put it into my master's hand.
3 branches. That's 3 days. In 3 days, Pharaoh will release you and return you to your position. You will continue to serve as you did.
Now try my friend's dream. Let's see how the gods favor him.
I saw myself in my dream. I stood with 3 baskets of fine white bread on my head. The highest basket was filled with sweets, the kind Pharaoh favors. And as I stood there, a flock of birds ate from the basket. Oh, I see from your face it does not bode well. Tell me.
The 3 baskets are 3 days. In 3 days, Pharaoh will take you from here. He will lift your head from your body, by which I mean he will hang you from the gallows. And the birds will... they will eat your flesh. I am sorry. I hope I am wrong.
And when 3 days had passed...
Joseph, I'm being sent back to the palace.
And what of the baker?
You were right. I must hurry. I return to Pharaoh's side today.
Wait! Before you go, please, remember me. Speak to the Pharaoh on my behalf.
Oh, how could I forget you, Joseph?
The butler returned to the palace. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. 2 years passed, and it seemed Joseph had been forgotten.
Hebrew, you have been summoned by His Royal Majesty, Pharaoh of the Great House.
Can you tell me what all this is about?
Here is the prisoner Pharaoh has summoned.
Approach. This is the Hebrew slave?
Yes, ruler of rulers. Joseph accurately interpreted my dream, and that of your late chief baker. The gods speak to him.
Well, Joseph, we have been plagued by dreams that elude our symbolists. We would hear your explanation.
I will answer as best I can, though it is not my own power that interprets. The God of my father may provide an answer for Pharaoh.
We shall see. In our dream, we stood at the bank of the Nile. 7 fat, handsome cows emerged from the water and grazed in the marsh grass. 7 other cows emerged, badly deformed and emaciated. We have never seen such poor creatures in Egypt. The emaciated cows devoured the healthy cows whole. They were completely swallowed, yet the thin cows remained as emaciated as before. We awoke and consulted our symbolists, our diviners, our seers, and our high priests. None could interpret.
Pharaoh's dream has a single meaning. The 7 plump cows represent 7 fertile years of bountiful harvest. The 7 sickly cows represent 7 years of famine to follow. The crops will fail, and the people will starve. The God of my father has shown me what Pharaoh must do to ensure his people survive. In the next 7 years, there will be a surplus of grain in Egypt. Pharaoh must appoint a man with insight and wisdom and place him in charge of Egypt. He must devise a rationing system, and the surplus grain must be collected and stored during these fertile years. In the coming years of famine, the people will be provided for by official storehouses. Act now, and they need not starve.
The Hebrew speaks with divine insight. Hebrew, hold out your hand. With this ring, I appoint you Viceroy of Egypt. You will have charge of its government and its storehouses. You will be known as Zaphnath-Paneah, and shall be our right hand in all we do. Have one of our palaces prepared for the new Viceroy. He'll require his own chariots and garb suitable for his new position.
I don't have adequate words to thank you.
You will thank me by keeping my people alive.
Joseph took a bride, and she gave him 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Meanwhile, the years of plenty passed, with Joseph administrating the entire nation's collection and storage of grain. Then the fields suddenly dried up, and the famine began. It quickly spread well beyond the borders of Egypt, even north, throughout Canaan.
My lord?
You may enter. What is it?
10 men have arrived from Canaan this day. We are holding them for questioning.
From where? Canaan, you said?
Yes, my lord. They appear to be herdsmen.
They arrived all together. That is suspicious. Have them brought here. I'll question them myself.
As you wish, my lord. My lord, they are here.
Bring them in.
Show your respect to the Lord Zaphnath-Paneah, Viceroy of Egypt.
Lord Zaphnath-Paneah.
Enough. Stand. Where are you from?
Land of the Canaanites. I am Yehuda, son of Jacob. We come to purchase grain. The famine has reached our home, and our children go hungry.
I think not. You've come to spy on our land and see where our defenses are vulnerable.
No, we are your humble servants. Honorable men with no other ambition than to feed our families. We arrived here together, for we are sons of the same man.
There are more of you?
Our youngest brother, Benjamin, he's at home with our father. And one of our brothers is no longer with us.
I still say you are all spies. Yet all men deserve the chance to prove their innocence. One of you will stay with me. This one, I think. While the rest of you return home to fetch your younger brother. Bring him to me, and no harm will come to,
Shimon, my lord.
Prove your innocence, and your brother Shimon will live.
Father.
Reuben, Yehuda, was your journey successful?
No, Father.
The Viceroy accused us of being spies. He's taken Shimon into custody.
Oh, Creator of the heavens. He is lost to us.
Well, there is a way to free him. But
tell me.
The Viceroy demands to see Benjamin. As proof we are not spies.
One son, torn to shreds. One in the dungeons of Egypt. And now, you expect me to hand over my beloved Benjamin? The last memory I have of Rachel. I'll never see him again.
Father, I give you my word that I will not return without Benjamin.
Impossible.
Father, our children have to eat.
Yehuda, if Benjamin is harmed, I will fall to the grave with grief.
This is punishment.
For what?
You know what.
Get Benjamin ready for the journey. We leave at daybreak.
So, is your father at peace? Is he still alive?
Our father is well, my lord.
And this must be your youngest brother. Step forward. Let me look at you. Benjamin, is it?
Yes, my lord.
May God be gracious to you, child. Herdsman, you have proven your innocence. I'll send for Shimon. You may take a satchel of grain each, and return to your father in peace.
Your generosity is beyond measure, my lord.
After all that?
Make haste. Let's get out of this accursed place.
It can't be this easy.
I wouldn't expect any sense from these heathens.
Keep your voice down. We'll be lucky to get out of here alive.
Halt!
What now?
You have been accused of stealing from the house of your lord, Zaphnath-Paneah. Hand over your satchels.
Aha! The youngest took a goblet!
This goblet was a gift from Pharaoh. How dare you offend the Viceroy after the generosity he has shown you?
What on earth did you think you were doing?
My lord, I don't know how this happened. Benjamin is innocent.
That's absurd. Arrest the boy. He will stay here as my slave. The rest of you may return to your father.
No!
You dare command me?
My lord, I beg a moment of your time. Just a moment.
Speak. You have my attention.
My lord, though you are like Pharaoh in power, you are flesh and blood, a father's son like all men. Our father buried his most beloved wife early. She left him just 2 sons. One, he believes, was torn by wild animals, and he has never overcome his grief. Our father's soul is now bound to the other, to Benjamin. And now you ask that we return without him. That would kill our father. He could not stand that loss. I swore an oath I would not return without Benjamin. I beg you, let me stay here in his place. Send him back with my brothers, for I cannot appear before my father without the boy. For how could I bear his suffering?
Yehuda.
You leave me no choice but to—
Yehuda, stop!
It's not possible.
Tell me, is our father truly still alive?
Joseph?
It is I. Rise, my brothers. What has happened was meant to be. The Creator sent me here to spare lives, and I have saved countless lives. All this was His will. But I must see our Father. Go back and tell him I am here. Bring him to me. I will give you land. I will provide for you. I want us to be together. And Benjamin, you're so grown up.
Joseph embraced his brothers, and they spoke well into the night, mending the torn bonds of kinship. Jacob was overjoyed and immediately prepared to move the tribe down to Egypt. As they entered Egypt, Joseph came out to Goshen to meet them.
Father, it's Joseph. Joseph's retinue has arrived.
My son. Is he truly here?
Yes, he has returned to us after all this time.
Father, I am your son.
I can die in peace, now that I have seen your face. Are your sons here?
Menashe, Ephraim, come meet your grandfather.
I never dreamed I would see you again. And now, the Creator has let me meet your sons.
Father, I welcome you to Egypt on behalf of the noble houses. Pharaoh has allotted this land to you. Everything is settled. Stay here. Station your herd. I will not be parted from you again.
Pharaoh allotted the district of Goshen to Israel's tribe, where they acquired property and found success in Egypt. Jacob, nearing the end of his life, blessed his sons and gave his final wish: to be buried in the cave of Machpelah by his wife Leah and his parents and grandparents. Then Jacob breathed his last breath and was brought back to his people. Joseph went himself to bury his father. The years passed, and Joseph, coming to the end of his own life, made one request: to be buried in the land of his father, the land of Israel.